We are coming to you from Kauffman Stadium in the heart of Mid-America, Kansas City, Missouri, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Eric Hosmer and Ned Yost, defending world champion Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. We get set to bring you the first of this four-game set, what will be that makeup game on Monday, and the first of a 9-game road trip. We'll have 4 here, 2 in Philadelphia, finish it off with 3 in Cleveland. So the Sox coming off a nice homestand. In fact, we've won 6 out of the last 9 ball games. But here, right here, I'll tell you what, it's no secret. The last 6 years, they've just kicked our butts.
This has been especially tough this year as the Sox have gone 1-5 against Kansas City here in Kansas City. And there you see the record. Tough losses, 4 of them by 1 run. You see the batting average, runs per game at 4.3, so that's not great. And the bullpen here has just been horrific. And with the Sox leading every one of those games, you feel terrible at 1-5. Things could have been a lot different. It just wasn't. But they're coming off a homestand which ended on a high note. And Carlos Sanchez came up in the shadows late in the afternoon and dumped this into right field. A big win, winning 3 of 4 from Cleveland, the best team in the division, certainly gives the team a lift. And Carlos Sanchez was one of the reasons why. One thing they'll have to be aware of is Eric Hosmer, who's been absolutely brilliant against the Sox this year. He not only hits the ball out of the ballpark, he drives in some big runs. He's hit Chris Sale very well, has 3 career home runs against him. And Hosmer has done everything right. Plus, you factor in a Gold Glove at first base, you got yourself a good one. And this year, hitting .322 against our Sox in 15 games with 5 home runs. He's driven in 17. He's scored 9. The OPS ridiculous. And so he's done it. Chris is going to have to deal with him tonight because Chris has every intention of winning this one.
Well, if you like pitching matchups, you got a chance to see a good one tonight.
There's no doubt that Ian Kennedy and Chris Sale is worth the price of admission. And both of these guys throwing very well, and this is a rematch from a short time ago. These guys went head-to-head, and Sale was brilliant. He fanned 12. Unfortunately, in that one, the Sox managed only a couple of hits, and he couldn't beat Ian Kennedy and these Royals. Ian Kennedy, on the other side of the equation, has struck out more guys with his fastball this year than any pitcher in baseball. Somewhat surprising because it's not overwhelming, yet he has pinpoint control with it. So both of these guys hooking up for the 3rd time. They're both 1-1 against respective teams. The ERA very close. You see the innings pitched and walks, the strikeouts. Chris has been a whole lot better. However, Chris Sale looking for number 16. He's been at it quite some time trying to get it. Hopefully tonight's the night.
All right, 2 good ones out there on the bump, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. It was raining all day, but it's very nice here this evening. Time now for our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. We'll take a look at Kansas City and what's happened to them from the month of August to the month of September. In August, the record 20-9. They got right back into it. September, not near as good. The ERA at 2.71 in August, but you can see it's been a disaster in September. The bullpen ERA, that's been the biggest culprit. They were unhittable in August and very mortal here in September. Opponent's batting average, well, that's commensurate with a high ERA and a bad bullpen. And home runs allowed. Been a short month so far, but they've given up almost as many home runs, the whip, as you can see. You see the reason why they are 5-8 and why things are dire here for the Kansas City Royals. Let's take a look at the wild card race, and it's shaping up to be a dandy. You got the Orioles and the Blue Jays tied at 80 and 66. The Tigers, who are currently losing to the Indians, but what's new, they've been getting killed by them all year. They're 78 and 68, and if they can't beat the Indians on the way home, they might as well forget about the wild card. And the Mariners, the resurgent Mariners, right back in the thick of this race with the surprising Yankees at 3 back. The Astros suffering some severe injuries to Altuve and Bregman and Keuchel. They're 4 back, but hanging by a thread, and these Royals really not that much in it at 74-72. So Robin would love to see his ball club play exactly like they did against the Cleveland Indians back at U.S. Cellular Field. It was a very aggressive team. It was a team that hit the ball very well and then won a close ball game yesterday in dramatic fashion in the 9th inning. Ned Yost on the other side of the equation. Well, he's had a lot of injuries. Lorenzo Cain lost for the year. Odds are overwhelming with his hand still swollen, and it's the back of his hand. He probably is not going to play very much, if at all, heading home. The bullpen has been somewhat in the shambles. The ball club has still been very tough on our Sox in this ballpark. Just 1-5 this year, but it's a different Kansas City team these days. So let's take a look at the White Sox lineup, brought to you by Kia. Adam Eaton to lead it off. Then it's Tyler Saladino at shortstop and hitting second, where he has more responsibilities, with Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, Todd Frazier, Alex Avila, Abisail Garcia, the designated hitter. Yesterday's hero, Carlos Sanchez, at second base and hitting 8th, and Leury Garcia in center field and hitting 9th. The Honda City defensive setup and how they'll line up by Ned Yost. For the Kansas City Royals, Whit Merrifield in left field, Billy Burns in center, Hunter Dozier, who had his first major league hit in yesterday's game, playing right field. Then Cheslor Cuthbert, Alcides Escobar, Christian Colon, who hit his first major league home run in yesterday's game, and Eric Hosmer at first. Salvador Perez gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Ian Kennedy, as Kennedy and Sale hook up for the 3rd time this year. This is start number 30 for Ian Kennedy. He's 11-9, his ERA 3.62. He's thrown 171 in the 3rd innings. Odds are overwhelming. He's not going to get to the coveted 200 mark. The umpires for the game tonight: Britt Gibson behind the plate. The crew chief Jerry Lane is at first, Hunter Wendelstedt at second, and Toby Fassner is at third. So in what's turned into just a beautiful night for baseball, Sox try to get a measure of revenge here in this ballpark. Things haven't gone well, despite the fact that the Sox have had the lead in all 6 games this year. Normally when that happens, especially with as good as the bullpen has been at times, you figure you're going to make it hold up. It hasn't worked quite that way for the Sox. And so hopefully a measure of revenge this evening. So they're throwing the ball around the infield, which means that we're ready to play baseball, and that means I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over Comcast Sportsnet. Glad you could join us for the first of this 4-game set and this 9-game road trip. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Adam Eaton will lead it off. 8-game hitting streak on the line for him, hitting at 285, 13 homers and 55 driven in. last Sunday's matchup between this guy Kennedy and our guy Sale. You know, I watched that game, Stevie, last Sunday, and you know, I don't watch the ball when I'm watching a game on TV. I watch the hitter because he'll usually tell you with his reactions what kind of stuff the pitcher's got. Our guys looked like they were very comfortable against Kennedy, and yet they couldn't do anything with him.
You know, he has an interesting fastball because when you look at the gun, it's 92, 93. It doesn't appear to have a great deal of movement, but yet guys they're a little behind it. They're a little ahead of it. They're looking at it, squaring it up, and then suddenly the ball's not there. So the only thing that I can think of, and you know as a hitter yourself, it probably has some sort of late movement, either darting or sinking or doing something, because otherwise it's very hittable speed.
As he gets him, well, you said in the opening about how he has struck out more hitters with a fastball than anybody in the major leagues this year.
When you consider how many guys throw harder than him, which is a majority of people,
that's
think,
my point.
Yeah, I mean it has to be deception.
Well, I was trying to go over him and slice him and dice him a little bit, as we've talked about in the past, about how you evaluate an approach right-handed hitters to right-handed pitching. 232 average against us, very good. Struck out 166 and 171. That's very good.
Yeah.
Walk 56. Okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. He's thrown 31 home runs. He's hit 11 guys, and of the 11 guys, I had our guy Dave Ross look it up. 7 of them are left-handed hitters, so that'll tell you probably got him with a breaking ball.
Yeah, probably the cutter, the slider.
And so he's probably not going to hit a pitch right-handers inside that much, because he's only hit 4 right-handed hitters in 171 innings.
So leaning out over the plate, at least looking for the ball away, most likely you're going to get it there, because whether it's his curveball or cutter, and when you factor in that he's only hit 4 of them, he's probably going to stay away from most of the right-hand hitters on consequential pitches.
Outfield slightly to the left. And that's another souvenir back. And here at beautiful Kauffman Stadium. 330 down the lines, 387 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. 410. Yeah, this has been a nightmare for us in the last 5 years, and this will be 6 years now. That ball hit high, right field. Hunter Dozier is there. Makes the catch, and it's out number 1. But in this being this being the 6th year, this will be the 6th straight losing season we've had in this ballpark. And our record in that time is 39 wins and 69 losses.
I think one of the big reasons is that this has always been a park where speed is premium, because you just don't hit that many home runs here, and Kansas City has always had a speedy team. They've taken advantage of spacious alleys. They always had a center fielder that was magnificent to go get them. And I believe that's one of the reasons, is tailoring your ball club for the park you play in.
Well, you know, this team that Ned Yost is running out there right now is doesn't even resemble the team the last 2 years that came within 1 out of winning 2 consecutive world championships. I mean, they're not even close. That's not to say that these young kids can't grow into being better players. But right now, it's just no contest.
Well, with Lorenzo Cain out of center field, I mean, it's a completely different ball club. They've literally won 60% of their games that Lorenzo Cain has played in. You factor that out over a full season, when you figure out that he's going to play 155 games normal season, that automatically puts him in a pennant race. And with him having a hamstring problem and now a hand problem, that takes a whole lot away from this team.
Oh, it does. He meant to that outfield, you know, when you're talking about Gordon in left, Cain in center, and then Paolo Orlando, who did a great job for those guys in right field last season. When you talk about those 3, Cain going down and Butler going down, Gordon going down, meant the same thing as when we lost Austin Jackson.
Well, they also lost Moustakas for the year, and you know, you lose a guy who had the kind of year Moustakas had last year, and there occasionally is a silver lining to that. And that is that they learned that Cheslor Cuthbert can really play third.
Yeah, but he's not even in the same category right now as far as offense, because Moustakas was getting better and better and better. He was just starting to. Here's a nice base hit by Tyler. He was just starting to come into some of that potential that you and I have been talking about for the last 6-7 years.
Well, okay, so let me ask you a question. Having been a general manager, you got Moustakas, who was just coming into his own, but now loses a full year to injury. Not his fault, certainly. He's going to come back next year. Now, he's got one more year under your control, and then he can be a free agent. You've got Cuthbert sitting there. You have some good young players that maybe not are ready now, but will be ready. What do you do next year with Moustakas? Number one, considering whether you're going to sign him or not, or two, who plays third base?
Well, you just answered whether you're going to sign him or not. That's the whole thing. Now, if it's me, Moustakas is just coming into his own. I'm going to try to re-sign him if it was me, because you could just see him growing. And they tell us that Cuthbert is as good as Moustakas defensively.
Yeah. There's some areas that he does a little bit better, but I think he's going to be a good hitter. I don't think he'll be the power hitter or the run producer that Moustakas in the right place in his batting order can be.
Moustakas, to me, even in playing in this ballpark, is the way he was coming on, is going to be a 30 to 40 home run a year guy. Well, Dayton Moore, I'll tell you what, he's made some real good decisions. He had a plan, he stuck to it, and David Glass gave him, for the most part, carte blanche money. As there it goes, Tyler from the knees, and he gets a beautiful peg right there by Perez from the knees. Boy, this guy is so good.
Salvador Perez can literally shut down a running game. And he gets a decent jump looking back, seeing if there was some contact. The throw is absolutely perfect. The one thing you never do, and Colon being a young player probably will learn this, is once you make that tag, you just don't go back for a second time. Because you go back a second time, that tells the umpire you're not sure if you got him when he called him out.
You'd think that all the young players would learn that, as you stay with it.
Yeah, I mean, give him the swipe tag. And we'll look at it again. The throw beats him. Throw's perfect. So he's got him, and of course he gets him again, but you can't count 2 outs and out of the inning.
Tell you what, Perez is just fun to watch.
He's something.
I mean, since his first time we saw him in the big leagues, he's fun to watch. 2-1 to count to Abreu, who has really been swinging that bat. He's got his average up to 299, 24 homers, 95 knocked in, and he has got a chance. He's got to do it in a hurry, though, to become only the second man to do it 3 years in a row. Pujols did it 3 years in a row. His first 3 years at 30 or more, drove in 100 or more.
He's going to drive in 100. Getting those other 6 home runs might be problematic.
Full count. Yeah, you better have good base stealer if you're going to steal on Salvador Perez. There's a chopper, and that's a base hit. That'll put him 300. And that'll bring up Melky.
So in this case, looking away really helps Jose. Of course, he's hitting everything in sight. These days, you don't even have to make a mistake, and he's going to hit the ball hard somewhere, and more times than not, it finds a hole.
Well, right now, he's a vision of his first 2 years.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Well, last year, he was the best bad ball hitter in baseball because he had to be. Melky has given him some protection this year, though. I will say that. In the first half, Jose just couldn't take advantage of it.
Well, at the All-Star break, he'd hit 272. Far cry from where he is now. He'd hit just 11 home runs, and he'd driven in just 52. And that was past the halfway point.
That high fastball. Talking with some of the Kansas City people before the game about Kennedy. In 2011 with the D-backs, he was 21-4.
Yeah, well, he's always had good control. That year he had unbelievable control. And, you know, whenever you have a kind of year like that, you have just about everything go right. He had everything go right. But, again, like so many of us, I know I'm in that club, you have career years, and that's why they're called career years. He's not going to duplicate that, although he's been pretty good.
Well, I was talking with Jeff Montgomery, who was a former terrific reliever. And like you were one of those guys who knew how to pitch up. Yep. And there's an old saying in baseball, show me a guy who knows how to pitch up and I'll show you a winner. That's popped up. And he said that Kennedy knows how to pitch up. So we get a couple of hits. We strand one after a half inning in play. It's our guys nothing and their guys coming to bat.
Billy Burns leading it off. The speedster acquired from Oakland, and Whit Merrifield the 2 spot. Eric Hosmer, Kendrys Morales, who's been red hot as you see over the last 17 games. Then it's Salvi Perez, Alcides Escobar, Chesler Cuthbert, Hunter Dozier, and Christian Colon hitting 9. The Honda City defense, and how Robin is going to line him up behind Chris Sale tonight. Melky, Leary Garcia in center field, and Adam in right. Then it's Todd Frazier, Tyler Saladino, Carlos, and Jose on the right side. Alex Avila gets a nod behind the plate. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Chris Sale, who will try once again. For win number 16, he's thrown very well. Last time he faced these Kansas City Royals, 12 strikeouts, only to come up short in that one. And there you look at the rest of the numbers.
So here is a switch hitter, Billy Burns at 228, coming over from the Oakland A's. Outfield short, slightly to the right. First ball, honey. Tyler's got him. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, you know, there are 2 teams in this league who really have good approaches against Chris Sale. This one, and Cleveland. Those teams have real good approaches on how to be dangerous against a good left-handed pitcher.
Well, Eric Hosmer, who's hit 3 home runs off Chris, says that he has really no idea how he's done it. He said it's not any approach different than most guys he approaches. It's just he's happened to hit him very well, surprisingly well for a left-hand hitter. It's
there's no question about it. Yeah. Well, you have those matchups sometimes that you see a guy that's terrific. It's just like we were talking the other day at the premier seating outing over at Harborside in our little golf event. Talking with Ron Kittle, big man from Gary. Against Bert Blyleven, he had 11 home runs. Now, he would be one guy that you would think may not have had any off Bert Blyleven.
Well, he must have made a few mistakes with that curveball.
Well, it's just that Kitty said, I don't know how I did it. Yeah. Kitty saw him well. Is he gone? Witt is down on strikes, 2 down.
Throws a fastball, and Merrifield turns away from it. That ball had just a piece of the inside corner, but it had the inside corner.
So here's Hosmer, 18 for 45 with 3 homers, 7 RBIs against Chris on the season, 23 homers and 91. Another one of these draft picks that the Royals have really had good scouting for a long time.
Well, that's one of the things you mentioned when you talked about Dayton Moore. Look, he had a bad team for quite some time, but he made the most of his number ones. If you don't whiff on number ones, you're in pretty good shape. And Moustakas was a number 1. Hosmer a number 1. Hochevar a number 1. Gordon a number 1. Will Myers a number 1. They used him to get Wade Davis. They used Zach Greinke a number 1 to get them Lorenzo Cain and Alcides Escobar. So you can use number 1s for your team, but you can also use them to move them along and get the pieces you need.
Well, that's what the minor leagues are for. Be a candy store. First of all, to help the big league club, but then be a candy store for the rest of Major League Baseball. There's a nice inning for Chris, and after 1 no score. ChicagoCom, presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday shop. Shop The Great Escape. Frazier, Avila, Avi Garcia here in the top of the second. No score. Pat's had a tough time against this right-hander. 4 for 24.
Some guys you just can't pick up.
Oh, and by the way, that Kittle had more home runs off Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven, than any other hitter.
11 against one pitcher?
No, it was 9. And I told Kitty that. He said, no, it wasn't. It was 11. I said, Kitty, it was not. It was 9. He had 9 home runs off of him. Our guy, Dave Ross, researched it very quickly, as usual.
Yeah, but without Dave Ross, Kitty would have 11.
Yeah.
It's Dave Ross's fault.
Yeah. Three and 0. And he walks them. And right now, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Fans are going with Tyler Saladino. The crew is going with Alex Avila. Steve's going with Avi Garcia. And Tommy Sheridan. Rob Boaz. Jeff Bogacki. Rich Kuchar. Lindsey Jordan and I. We're going to go with Leury Garcia. And of course, Tommy. And Lindsay was the one who coordinated and put together that premium seating golf outing, which that was the first one, but I'm sure there will be more because it was terrific. Alex 2 for 9 against Kennedy, but both those hits left the ballpark.
In an effort to get Hunter Dozier's bat in the lineup, he's playing right field. He is a third baseman by trade. They got a whole lot of folks over at third base.
You know, Kansas City, they did the right thing, and again, one out of winning 2 consecutive world championships. If it hadn't been for Bumgarner and that unbelievable performance, they would have had 2 in a row. But the thing was, they had a big break, and this is not something that happens very often. You certainly know. Those 4 guys they had out there in that bullpen allowed Ned to manage a 5- and 6-inning ball game, and they did not have any injuries for 4 years.
That was absolutely the key, and it becomes a little easier to manage when you know that you can get your starter out of there with the lead, and the bullpen almost never gives it up.
Well, it also changes the way you run your offense.
Oh, absolutely. You're playing for a run or 2 instead of a big inning.
Yeah, those 1- and 2-inning, 1- and 2-run innings are a lot easier to get than the 4-, 5-, and 6 ones.
Well, it started with Greg Holland going down because he was the closer and a good one, and Wade Davis eventually left the starting role and was a setup man.
Herrera did
and
a great job.
Kelvin Herrera was the 7th inning guy, and that's what it stood. And then they moved Hochevar out there.
Well, you also mentioned the little left-hander that did such a good job for
Collins.
him. Yeah, Collins did a good job for him coming in there. They actually had the 6th inning covered pretty well. Collins and the availability of a couple other guys, and then the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Well, they were just locked down.
Yep, that was it. Then Holland went down, and then everybody slotted up, and they didn't lose anything. But with Wade Davis going down, and not what he was because of the injury, it's a problem.
There goes Frazier. Had a good jump, but I don't think he would have made it. You know, the thing is that last 2 years, and maybe the last certainly 3 or 4, but the last 2 especially, in my opinion, that should be the model that everybody in baseball looks at. That should be the model. You got to start at every team in the big leagues this year, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 or 3, are going to be looking for bullpen help.
No doubt.
Now the key is nobody's going to give them anything unless you give up something great. As hey, look at this, back-to-back walks.
Perez goes to the mound to talk with Kennedy, but think of the job you have to do of scouting your own system to know which starters from your minor league system that you should shift over and start an emphasis on. If you need a 7th inning guy, this guy becomes 7th inning guy.
That's a great point, because that actually is where it starts. Is evaluating your own talent. Well, scouting your own talent and getting to know, as you say, what starters have an opportunity, because that has been the vogue, the fashion, so to speak. If you can't scout your own system, come up with something. The name of the game in baseball always has been and always will be talent evaluation. Always will be. Now, who evaluates the best? Kansas City's done a pretty dadgum good job.
Yeah, they have that.
There's the strike to Avi. Avi at 249, 11 homers, 46 knocked in, and is coming on strong. The best talent evaluator I've ever seen in this game, and I've said it many times. Ooh, he got a cookie there and missed it. Was Whitey Herzog, and that was Whitey's first cardinal rule. Scout your own system. Know what you got.
Well, He built the team here, and he built the team in St. Louis, and they were pretty good ball clubs when Whitey was running
Built
the
the
ship.
Mets. He built 5 organizations altogether. Whitey was the last, what you would call, Trader Lane type guy. He would trade 7 for 5.
But he also was one of the last, not the last, but one of the last, along with Bobby Cox, that was a general manager and a manager.
Yeah.
You don't think we'll see that again anytime soon, do you?
No. No, not with analytics coming in. Yeah, those days there are a lot of things in baseball now that we'll never see again. And you and I touched on a lot of them over the course of the past few years. You know, it's when's the last time we saw a 20-game winner in the minor leagues?
Oh, they never. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. It used to be a very common occurrence because you only had 16 teams, and the mantra was back in those days, well, let the guy finish up strong. Today, you win 10, 11 ball games, 12 ball games down here, you're going to be on a big league club.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I remember pitching in excess of 35 innings in spring training.
Yeah.
You're not going to see that again anytime soon.
And that's, to me, that's crazy. It really is. I mean, it's just, and it's not the pitcher's fault. It's not the player's fault of the things that are happening. It's guys from my era that allowed all this stuff to come in, and then the agents got involved in the thing. The agents have taken it over, and it's become in essence an agent's game. Yeah, it was everybody had 34, 35, 36 innings coming out of spring training. A lot of people don't realize there for a long time. Jim Bunning, his first start in spring training, he went 9.
Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
When's the last time? You'll never see 4 consecutive complete games again like we had in 05. This year, Johnny Danks was trying to come back from an injury and went 31 2/3 innings. That by far was the most of any of our pitchers. The next one was 17 innings. Good take right there. That's just off the inside corner.
Close, but
this young man has so much talent. Javi, wow. So back to back walks will load him up. That's a good at bat for Javi.
pretty unusual to see 3 walks, and it brings Dave Island out from the dugout. Talked with David Robertson, who had both Larry Rothschild and he had Dave Island as a pitching coach. Said both different, both very good. And Island now got himself a good pitching staff, but now a banged up pitching staff. I'll tell you one thing that happened this year, Hawk, that you haven't seen in a while. And you played in the Eastern League.
Played where?
In the Eastern League?
Yeah.
How tough was it to hit in the Eastern League?
It was a pitchers. It was always known as the pitchers league in the minor leagues.
A guy this year by the name of Dylan Cousins hit 40 home runs, 125 driven in the Eastern League. First time it happened in 35 years. For the Philadelphia organization, big left-hand strong hitter, but 40 home runs in the Eastern League, pretty good. I know you had a pretty big year in the Eastern League.
Yeah, he hit 38.
It's a tough place to hit consistently.
Well, I think Greg Luzinski broke my home run record. I think I drove in 138 that year, and I think that still stands.
142 game season.
140.
140 game season.
But you know, again, it's like you were talking earlier about some guys have streaks where you see the ball so well. And obviously, if you're going to do that in 140 games in the pitcher's league, you're seeing the ball well. I think Bull hit 40 when he was playing at Williamsport in the Philadelphia organization. There it is, upstairs, couldn't lay off of it, so 1 out.
Every pitch was upstairs, and the last one right in between height-wise the first and the second.
All right, so that being the case, you know that he struck out more guys with his fastball than anybody in the big leagues this year. You're going to make him get it down, even though he's not throwing 95 and 96. They're going to come. No, he just looks to the plate. Thank you. I don't think he could find the ears on
no,
it. No,
if he had had the grip on it, he would have come home, because in the chopper, you're not going to get two, especially with the speed of Garcia. You know that. But Cuthbert just couldn't get the grip. 1-0 game. See him right there. It kind of stuck in the top of his glove. And just that hesitation, you take the one and try to stay out of the big inning.
So here is Adam. Fly deep to right field, leading off the ball game. Yeah, the year of 62, that was 62 I played in Houston. We had some pretty good players in that way. We had Jimmy Ray Hart. He was at Springfield with the Giants. We had Richie Allen. Dick Allen was at Williamsport with the Phillies. They had a lot of pitchers that went, obviously because of being pitchers, they had a lot of pitchers that went to the big leagues. Charleston, I believe, had Lloyd Tiant, Tommy John, and one other guy that went up to the Cleveland Indians.
I was going to say, that was the Indians.
Yeah.
Double-A. If Kennedy gets out of this inning only giving up 1 run, he will consider it an overwhelming success.
Well, that's right, because unfortunately,
we've seen that a time or two.
Yeah. Two and two. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch right here. I think Adam holds the current trophy, the current crown for most foul balls by one of our hitters this year.
Well, there's no doubt that he has prolonged at bats. Pretty good hand-eye coordination, leads to a lot of chances to stay alive.
That's the way to frame it. Yeah, he has the longest at bats of any of our hitters.
There's no doubt.
He's going to get out of it with just the one. So we pick up a run without the benefit of a hit. And it's 1-0 good guys. Checking an official Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Member FDIC. Well, we didn't get a hit in the top of the second, but we got a run. So for the Royals here in their half, it'll be Morales, Perez, and Escobar.
Morales has had a very good year, although not quite as good as last year when they took a gamble on him. And that gamble, signing him as a free agent, worked out unbelievably well for them.
Well, he's just a very dangerous hitter. He'll strike out a lot, but one thing about it, a lot of those times when he's striking out, he is really dangerous.
Well, there's no doubt. Last year drove in 106. He hit 290 last year.
He's a good hitter. You know, that's one of the biggest, I'm not going to say tragedies because it wasn't a tragedy, but biggest unfortunate incidents to happen in the big leagues in a while.
Well, the Angels could consider it close to a tragedy because he could have been there for a long time and be very productive in the middle of that lineup.
And of course, if you don't know what we're talking about,
he was celebrating a home run and jumped up in the air, a crowd of his teammates around home plate, and he came down. Somehow his ankle got twisted and shattered the bones and broke his leg and ligaments involved. It was a terrible, terrible accident. And he really, I mean, he's been a good hitter since, but he's never been the kind of hitter he was with the Angels, with the promise that he had and the upside, which at that point was absolutely unlimited.
Yeah. Yep. It's a shame. Good too.
In 2009, he had 306, 34 home runs, and drove in 108.
Here you go.
The White Sox Back to Class Pass is available now, and for just $25, fans can attend all 7 of the final games during the final regular season homestand. Visit whitesox.com/pass for more information or to order yours today.
Well, you know, I'm all for guys having fun playing this game because that's the way it should be played. But, you know, you get Morales, and I saw Montero when he hit that home run today, and I'm telling you, he could have got hurt. I mean, there's no question about it. Perez high and going foul, and look, into the seats, a souvenir. Yeah, but that kind of celebrating is, you're just taking a chance.
Well, it's especially damaging in a situation as the Cubs are in where you know you're going to be in the playoffs. Obviously, you're also going to have the best record in the National League, which is a huge advantage when you're talking about playing the winner of the one-and-done game.
High into center field. And that's out number 2. Well, they've had, and our congratulations go out to them, deservedly so, because of the fact they've had a magnificent season.
They certainly have had that, and he wrapped it up in plenty of time to get everybody the rest that they need. Joe Maddon's terrific at this because he's been there a lot of times before. He knows that you can't just back off the gas pedal as a team all at once, because then it's going to be really hard to get the momentum again. But, you know, he's done this a time or two, so they don't worry about that. And they're 40 over 500 heading into today, now 41 over, 94 and 53.
Well, he's a master at chemistry, and that's hard to be a master of in any sport. But I had picked them last year to win it all, as a matter of fact, in that league, and I picked them again this year to win it all in that league. And they're going to be good for a while, and that's what's going to force us to have to get better.
Yep.
Because if people think that Reinsdorf is going to play second fiddle, no, he's going to do something to get this club back where it should be. Gap out there in left center. This guy has been a great pickup for him as well.
Westgar has been terrific. He's a great defender. He steals bases. He makes contact.
He's a .263 career hitter. That ball hit well, but we got a man there, and that'll retire the side. So that's 6 up, 6 down for Chris. Lance Briggs, Alex Brown, and Jim Miller on Bears pregame live. Then join the guys afterwards for Bears postgame live. Beginning Monday night at 6:30 on CSN Plus. Here's Tyler. Had a base hit to right field. We have 1 run, they have none. We have 2 hits, they have none.
2 vastly different innings, and Kennedy was in trouble in both of them. 2 singles in the first inning. He got out without any runs. 3 walks in the second. He got out with only 1 run.
That's in the center field. That's the can of corn for Billy Burns, speedster.
Celebrate the Bulls Sox Academy's 15-year anniversary with a free open house on Saturday, September 24th from 11 to 2 in Lisle. Kids can participate in a skills competition, watch the mascot home run derby, take a photo with the World Series trophy, and more. Visit bullsoxacademy.com for more information.
This swing almost in a big White Sox. Thank you. It was a real good conversation last night watching the ball game, or yesterday I should say, to Dr. Charles Bush Joseph, Joe Hennessy, Dr. Kathleen Weber, Rachel Frank, and Dr. Bush Joseph. helping me with my knee. Watch out. I tell you, we have been so fortunate. I think we had a streak of 15 consecutive years. #1 at the fewest DL days in Major League Baseball. 15 consecutive years.
Well, this one has been a really tough year.
There's a bullet base hit. It has been. They've had their work cut out for them all year long. You know, we talked about, what was it, 9,900 and something DL days last year,
yep.
And they were going to pass it this year. Well, they passed it in August.
Not surprising. Not surprising. This has been a year when you look around baseball, you've had a lot of key players go down all over baseball.
Here's Cabrera. Popped up to the infield. Takes that high and wide.
Last 14, Melky has been hot. A lot of our hitters have been hot. 350, 5 doubles, 11 driven in with 7 multi-hit games.
That's into the upper tank. It's an agent's game. And another souvenir left side. There's a shot base hit. Hit by him. Good job right there by Merrifield. So 1 out, Ducks on the pond.
Merrifield came up with it well, realizing that if he tries to stand up and catch this ball, there's a very good chance that's going to get by him. So sliding into the catch was a key. Kennedy hung a curveball. Melky took it down the line, and watch Merrifield. He slides into the catch, comes up with it. That looks exactly like Alex Gordon might have taught him how to do that in this park, because that's what Alex does all the time.
That was an Alex Gordon play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. 4-time Gold Glover.
There's Todd. He walked and scored, leading off last inning. Takes it right there. Might be the best pitch he gets in this whole sequence.
Todd striving for 100 driven in, has got a golden opportunity here, although the infield not conceding the run. They're fairly close all the way around.
All right. A little high, but he was just underneath it. Now he's in the big hole, 0-2. Way high. Nice gap out there in left center if he can find it. Right now, the only thing he wants to do is just make a little contact. Two and two.
Make some contact, preferably. At the very least, hit a fly ball. Because with the speed of Abreu, if a ground ball doesn't get through, he probably is not going to score.
Oh, he just missed it. He just missed that one, but it's going to get the job done. That was about a 32nd of an inch from being a landmarker. Meanwhile, it's 2-0 Sox.
It's the 7th sacrifice fly. And RBI number 91. Got under it just a touch. Hit it hard enough to take it all the way back to the track.
Yeah, that could have been a long one right there. Meanwhile, here's Alex Avila. He walked also last inning. Takes a strike. There's Trip Gibson right at the top of the zone. Drops the hook on him. 0-2.
Well, they must have been listening to you about the April schedule, because the new schedule came out, and lo and behold, you can count them. 4 off days in April.
Well, I would suggest that the reason you can count 4 was because that old saying that he gets him. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Meanwhile, we pick up one, and it's 2-0 good guys.
Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, that schedule we had this season started everything off bad. Even though we got off to a 23-10 start, it cost us dearly. As I know you make a lot of talks with the season ticket holders,
yep.
And I had one this past week, and I really enjoyed it. That's my first one. I'm going to have more because
it's fun.
It's really a lot of fun.
We get to know what the fans are thinking and where their concerns are.
Well, and every one of the questions, there was not a bad question. Every one of the questions was legitimate.
Yeah.
They got a right to be upset. They have a right to.
Absolutely.
You know.
And they get pretty excited, as you would expect.
But the schedule we had this year, in case you did not hear, we had one off day in April. And I told my wife, Beautiful, right? And by the way, honey, happy anniversary. Happy 43rd on the 14th of this month. There's a Robert. So Cuthbert is retired, 1 out. But I said, this is the worst schedule I've ever seen. She said, why? I said, because we got only 1 off day in April. She said, well, what does that mean? I said, it means we're going to blow our bullpen off. Because the starters are coming out of spring training, as we just talked about an inning ago. Don't get that much work in spring training, so they're not going to go that far into a game. It falls back on the bullpen. We had the best bullpen in baseball in April. We had the worst in May, and that doesn't happen, Steve, as you well know.
Nope, and not much you can do about it. You play them how you see them, but it would have been almost unbelievable to emerge from that kind of schedule to keep a bullpen completely healthy, because you might remember at that point, Albers was absolutely unhittable, set the all-time White Sox record for consecutive scoreless appearances, and then all of a sudden, because he was used a lot, when you're getting people out, you are used a lot. All of a sudden, the control wasn't quite there, and a little life off the fastball. Things started to change.
Yeah, the sink wasn't sinking, and,
no, and
the big hurt in that bullpen, besides all the work that our guys had to sustain. In essence, we only had 1 off day in 6 weeks, month and a half. But Jake Petrichka was a big hurt for this ball club.
He certainly was, because he was a dependable guy coming out of the pen usually. He was that dependable 7th inning guy.
And as much work as he got, you got to figure that really factored into that hip
no doubt
injury. So here is Hunter Dozier, 25-year-old rookie who's 1 for 3.
First major league start tonight.
He is a 249 minor league hitter. Big guy, 6'4", 220, 25 years old. Not a big home run hitter in the minor leagues. That doesn't mean he does not have the power. A lot of guys don't hit home runs in the minor leagues, and they come to the big leagues and they learn how to hit. They learn how to be dangerous as a better way to frame it. He's not going to get him up there. He gone. 2 down.
Third strikeout for Chris Sale. He's retired 8 in a row, and no chance for Dozier if he's going to swing at high fastballs from Chris Sale.
It's amazing how you're talking about just only 1 off day in a month and a half. But it's amazing what that off day does for that bullpen.
There's no question. And when you don't have rosters expanded, as we see now, Cleveland had 13 guys in the bullpen. But when you don't have rosters expanded, you either have 7 or 8 bullpensmen. And it's really a difficult thing to keep them all ready to go, but not overuse them, because the tendency is always, and it's any manager, you get a couple of hot pitchers in your bullpen and they're going to pile up some real early appearances.
On the move, makes a nice throw, and that is 9 up, 9 down for Chris Sale.
And you see 3 more here with the Royals, including the used to be off day to be played on Monday. Then 2 at Philadelphia against the Phillies. That's the back half of the home and home with them and the Indians over the weekend. The final road trips of the year. Brought to you by PNC Bank.
Here's Avi. Avi walked. Had a good at bat back in the second inning. Steve, you know, we were talking about the bullpen. It's just not the, as you say, everybody always talks about the appearances. There's a lot more to it than that.
Right, because pitching coaches and managers both take a look at a couple of different things. One, how many pitches did you use in those appearances? Easy to quantify appearances. You see them on the sheets every day. But how many pitches did you use through those appearances? That's one factor. The other thing that you can't quantify, but a lot of guys do pay attention. They have to. Pitching coaches and managers both, along with your bullpen coach. How many pitches did these guys use to get ready? And how many times did you get them up? You might have gotten them up once. This time, put them in the game. Okay, not a lot of wear and tear, but sometimes you get them up 2 or 3 times. And then you got to factor that.
Oh, scalded. Oh, what a nice play by Colon. Made that look easy. He made that look like Robbie Alomar.
This is a tough play because it's a 1-hop rocket, and it's a short hop at that.
Another good at bat for Avi. Also the mental part of that.
Well, there's a strain of that, especially when you're getting up maybe 5 times a week. Some guys do that, especially first guy out of the chute. If you're getting your premier setup guys and the closer up 5 times a week, you're having a really good run at it. And then, but obviously you got to give them a day off every now and then, but ideally that's what you'd like to do, because everybody has a winning side of their bullpen. Everybody has a side they use when the game is tied or you're behind late in the game. And it's a delicate balance between the two that managers and pitching coaches and bullpen coaches have to balance.
0-2 the count. So Carlos struck out his first trip.
Perez got hurt with that one, and because of that, Trip Gibson's going out. Give him a little time.
Well, what we're seeing about is also something that's never talked about, and should be, because it's become a big part of the game. And you and I have discussed it probably more than anybody I know about managers are now starting to learn how to eat a game quicker.
That was a no-no for a while. In other words, you're always in it, especially, you know, we talk about eras, and obviously we talk about the PED era, or slug ball as they called it. And it was tough to eat a game because routinely you'd come back from 5 and 6 down. I mean, you'd have a number of guys hitting 30+ home runs in your lineup, and you came back in games managers didn't want to eat games. But you can't save your bullpen without taking a loss when guys are tired and when you're down and you know your team. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, leave a guy out there a lot longer than you normally would who might be taking a beating.
And then send him down for a while, put him on the Phantom DL and send him down for a while, bring somebody else up until he gets ready, and then bring him back. Well, and when I played and when you pitched, the mantra was you're only going to go with starters as far as your starters will take you. That is so been gone now for 15, 20 years. You're only going to go as far as your bullpen. That's one of these guys, as you say, the first job when I played was you got to protect your starters. That was the biggest job the manager had. Today you got to protect that bullpen.
Sox have a 2-0 lead, and the first one driven home by Leury.
Yep.
With his first White Sox run, he clicked lending. He'll donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
And that is Tommy Sheridan, Rob Boaz, Jeff Bogacki, Rich Kuchar, Lindsey Jordan. They're picked to click tonight. Leury with an RBI.
Well, fortunately, I get a chance just once a season to invoke the 1 and 1A picks. So I had Avi, who, because he walked the first time, Abreu clicks in as my 1A pick tonight.
Here comes Senator Stone.
It's a little known rule. Of course, seeing as you invented the rules for pick to click, I had to go through the book. I mean, scouring the book to look for angles. That seemed to be one of them.
As he gets him, so a couple of strikeouts. He now has 3, but he trails at 2-0.
Couple of Chicago teams at the top. White Sox, Cubs, then the Indians and Dodgers. Very closely bunched. That includes Chris Sale's 3 tonight.
Well, coming out of spring training, I really believed in all my years with the Sox that this year, 2016, was the best chance that we had ever had to have a Sox-Cubs World Series.
Well, it certainly didn't work out on one side of town. And, you know, the other side will have its chance. They're the #1 team in baseball. So says a whole lot of people evaluating before the fact. But you head into the postseason where it's going to be a short series and literally anything can happen. And if the teams are battling for the wild card still, where the winner of the one-and-done game does not use their ace, it's pretty dangerous in a 5-game series when you have home field, as the Cubs will have. That's not the Cubs. It's any team having the home field advantage for the first 2 games in a 5-game series in their ballpark. If you lose the first game, the advantage drastically swings to the other team, to the team with the lesser record. And that's just how it's always been in a 5-game. That's why the best team doesn't always win.
He gone. 4 strikeouts now.
4 strikeouts and 10 in a row as Chris Sale looks like he is drastically determined to finally chalk up number 16.
Well, that's one reason. That's one reason I love this game. If you take all the variables in there, which is they're just hard to assimilate, so to speak, to whereas you can put them there, look at them, write them down, look at them. As Merrifield can't get it, he struck out, called out his first trip, because this is the one sport where you hit it right on the head. The best team does not always win.
Nope. We've seen it time after time, year after year.
High in the center field. So here's Hosmer. Grounded out. Saladino. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys. Rio stranded 4.
And here is the real trouble spot for Chris Sale over the course of his career. Very few lefties have achieved what Hosmer has against Chris Sale.
Yeah, it might be the only team that you hate to see a left-handed hitter come up against Chris
Yeah, I mean,
Sale.
this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is all time. Eric Hosmer with 3, Brendan Bosch with 2, and then Freeman, Markakis, and Hafner 1 each. That's it.
So 12 up, 12 down for Chris, and he leads it 2-0. It's the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Sox. Top of the order, Eaton, Saladino, Abreu. Well, we all recall 2006. St. Louis won 83 games and won the World Series.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
But you just brought up a point in the break there. We were talking about the best teams don't always win in baseball.
Well, we both are very fond of Jimmy Olsen, our intrepid reporter from the Northwest, and he sent us something before the game. Since 1996, which was the first full year of wild card play, the 7 teams who clinched it the fastest, and this year the Cubs by games played were 5th all time. Clinch the division the fastest. Of the 7 teams, only 2 made it to the World Series, and only 1. The 1998 New York Yankees actually won the World Series. So it doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with the best team by the fastest to clinch. The best team doesn't always win. Things happen in the playoffs that you can't possibly predict, and luck is a huge factor in it. 162, the best team wins. I will grant you that. But short series, any team can beat any team.
One of the fans at the season ticket holders meeting we had to ask me about the 1967 season when we got beaten 7 games by the Cardinals. Bob Gibson beat us 3 times. And I told him, I said, we were not the best team in that famous pennant race. They call it the greatest pennant race in the history of the game, where you had Minnesota Twins, Detroit Tigers, White Sox, and Red Sox, all within one game of each other for like 4 or 5 weeks. Saladino can't get it. We were the third best team of the 4. Minnesota had the best talent. Detroit was next. We were third. And the White Sox, who had the best pitching of everybody, but they couldn't score runs. So there's a good example, too. And we went to the World Series. Now, we lost in 7 games to Gibson, but still, that's another illustration that the best teams don't always win. And injuries, as you brought up. We had to beat Minnesota on a Saturday and a Sunday, and Jim Cott started on, and he was a tremendous pitcher. This is the game he hurt his arm. Pitching. He's in the first inning, he walked Yaz Yastrzemski. I come up, throws me a fastball for a strike, curveball, and then I heard a pop when he threw the curveball.
That's not a good sound.
No. And there's a shot. By. Oh, he misplayed it, or that ball moved on him, one of the two. They're going to give him a base hit. Good. But he hurt his arm, had to leave the game. So there's an injury.
That's it.
You know.
This one was hit so hard it was actually hooking and sinking, because it's a pretty good shortstop that doesn't come up with it. And the official scorekeeper, justifiably so, gives him a base hit.
Pitchers don't agree with that, but I do. So here's Abreu. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. 1 out, 1 on.
And one thing you really have to beware of is that secondary lead with Salvador Perez behind the plate. It's much more effective when he drops down to one knee behind a left-hand hitter, however, than it is a right-hand hitter, because a base runner can see it with Abreu up. But if he drops down behind a left-hander and throws to first, you're screened initially, and it becomes very difficult. So Jose with a couple of hits. Swings through a fastball, and he's down 0-2.
Big series in Cleveland. Indians leading the Tigers 7-4, top of the 7th inning.
Justin Upton's hit 2 home runs in that game. Second inning, a solo home run, and the 6th inning, a 3-run shot. That's the only reason why they're as close as they are.
One and 2. Big gap in left center. Ate him up inside right there. Pops him up into right field. Hunter Dozier. 2 down.
There's a couple of teams absolutely bemoaning the fact that they couldn't beat their #1 nemesis in their own division. Detroit, one of them. They're 1-11 this year against the Indians, and looking in this one like they're going to go 1-12 against Corey Kluber and his mates. And another one is Houston. Houston would be in 2nd place over Seattle if they could just have handled the Texas Rangers, which they have not been able to do. So Seattle has crept into 2nd place, 8.5 games in back of Texas coming into play tonight.
Well, we had a season like that.
Against the Indians.
Not against Cleveland. 2-17.
Yeah, that was a miserable year.
2013, we were 2-17. Into left field. Witt's got it. We're halfway home, leading 2-0. Always nice to hear from him.
Always nice to see him working on the weekends.
Well, I was getting ready to say, it's always because most of the time, taped.
Yeah, he phones it in pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah. So, Anyway, here's Kendrys Morales. Morales struck out his first trip. And he takes strike one. 33-year-old veteran. Salvador Perez on deck and Alcides Escobar in the hole. Watch out.
Chris has had one strikeout in each of his 4 perfect innings.
He gone. No hook.
He's got his first this inning, and that's 13 in a row retired. Kansas City coming off a series, as you look at strikeout number 5. They're coming off a series against Oakland, where in the history of the Kansas City Royals, and that goes back a long time, they never gave up 43 runs in a 4-game series. The Oakland Athletics came to town with really nothing to play for but pride and professionalism. And they put a 43 spot on them in 4 games.
Wow.
Amazingly, I mean, it's never happened.
I'm getting ready to say, that's unbelievable. 43 runs in 4 games.
Yep.
Well, the Oakland team's going to play hard, and that's because they got a terrific manager.
Oh, Bob Melvin's outstanding. He is just outstanding. Oakland is now 64-82, 22 and a half games in back at Texas, but they've won 4 in a row. Obviously, the 4 against his ball club.
Leading Texas 6-2. Bottom of the 6th down in Arlington. There's a strike. Count 0-2. It's, this all illustrates what you were talking about, explaining about the 7 fastest, to clinch. Alex, it's just the accentuation, so to speak, and definitiveness of the old saying. It's not who you play, but when you play them.
And this game is such a wonderful game because you can sit and try to predict it, but you can't predict it.
That's the reason I say it all the time. Nobody knows this game. There's just some people have been around it longer than others, and maybe you can cancel a post-game show. First base runner, first hit.
And it's somewhat apropos for Salvador Perez that he is the first base runner because he swung at a pitch out of the zone. This pitch is low and away, probably 3 inches off the plate outside, and Perez, who literally swings at everything, takes it up the middle, and Tyler Saladino can't get to it. Clean base hit, hard hit. And Perez, who just doesn't like to take a walk. So much so, he's walked 20 times, 472 at bats.
Escobar hit the ball very hard to Melky in left field, but it just ball not carrying.
No, you get some heavy air in the ballpark tonight.
There's a nice approach to that pitch. Ball was headed towards right center if he had made contact.
68 degrees at game time. Complete opposite of the way it was last time we were in town. It was knocking at the door of 100 degrees with humidity pretty much to match and a heat index of 110 or a little higher.
Yeah, I remember back 1988, Baltimore Orioles started the season. They were 0-21. They came in our ballpark Beat us.
Yeah.
Old Comiskey Park. And they shut us out 9-0.
Well, they had a lot of offense saved up.
Oh boy. Remember John McNamara?
I do.
He was managing us when I was in AAA in Dallas. And we lost 17 in a row. So he called a meeting for the next day. He gone. 2 down. He called a meeting for the next day. And we didn't have any air conditioning in the minor leagues back in those days in the clubhouse. Had a fan. Must have been 125 in that clubhouse.
Yeah, those fans always work well.
He lets us sit in there for about a half an hour before he showed up. And we're all down into our skivvies. We're sweating, got towels, so, you know. He comes in, he looks at us, takes off his hat and says, fellas, don't you guys worry about a dadgum thing. I'm having a bad year. He turns around and walks out. But I can't imagine 0-21 at the major league level.
Well, they changed managers. I mean, they fired their manager, and I think it was Frank Robinson who took over. I think. And
you're right.
He didn't do any better.
Dave Ross said.
Yep.
Cuthbert grounded out to Saladino. 2-0 Sox here in the bottom of the 5th. I remember playing a game here in Kansas City against the Cleveland Indians. The thermometer in the dugout showed 126. It's the hottest I have ever been in my life.
This and St. Louis, summertime, when there was artificial surface, you were before that, but it was horrible.
That's a fair ball just inside that line. But now they're going to hold Perez that. Good thing they did, even though the throw bounced. So 2 out, ducks on the pond.
Probably anybody but Salvi Perez, and that's a run. And a good play by Alex Avila, because this throw by Melky wasn't a good one. And it was going to short hop Alex. He had to go out and smother it. Perez was not running. The ball gets hung up. So Melky has to go get it. And don't really need to make that particular throw because there's no way that Perez was going to go.
Well, Melky's been playing such a good outfield and throwing out guys this year. When you can throw like he can, you like to throw.
You like to throw is right. He's got a very accurate arm, and Cuthbert with his 27th double.
So here's Dozier. He struck out on a high fastball. Takes ball 1.
Cal Ripken Sr., that 88 year we've been talking about, was 0-6. They decided 0-6 was unacceptable, so they changed to Frank Robinson, who went on to lose another 15 straight.
He remember that.
He turned it around.
Oh, yeah, he turned it around. I don't remember that part of it. I just remember they were. Oh, nice. Big, take your time, big, nice roll, off the bag, gets away, and this game is tied at 2. Dadgummit.
Tyler got under the throw, and then Jose, in an effort to keep his foot on the bag and catch the ball, let the ball get by him, and the tying run scored. It starts out a very good play.
Well, he's got time.
He does have time, and unfortunately, Jose, it's pretty much take your choice. Catch the ball or keep your foot on the bag. You've got to go and catch the ball. That's number one, because it's going to be almost impossible to keep your foot on the bag.
Well, you said it. 2 mistakes on the play.
Single RBI, E6.
Chris Sale this year and last year, along with Quintana. If they didn't have any bad luck, they wouldn't have had any luck at all.
You remember that little piece of video that our crew made with you and the box that we plugged into to work our headset when the old Metrodome was imploded?
Yeah, I remember that. I would have paid to have pushed that button.
Probably not going to be out of the realm of possibility that you will be doing the same thing when they get a new stadium here, because this one has not been a whole lot better. Not recently.
You know, for the last 6 years, it's been worse than the Metrodome.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. This has been worse than the Metrodome.
And the strangest things have happened here, things that you never see.
Well, you mentioned early on that we were 1-5 in this ballpark this year, and in all 6 games we had a lead.
And here's another one. We haven't lost it, but have had the lead.
That's back. But 2 gift runs in essence right there. We're tied at 2.
Field. Grab a partner and come out to our tournament and see if you can win the tournament and take home a cash prize. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/bags.
Frazier, Vila, and Garcia. And Ian Kennedy just got a new ration of adrenaline.
Yep, hitting into the 6th in a brand new ball game, tied at 2.
He's got the catbird seat 2-0. 2-5 and a huge 1 for us. 2-3-0 for them. We stranded 5. They stranded 1. High pop up, middle of the diamond. Cuthbert.
Kennedy has yet to complete a game, so odds are overwhelming that Kansas City will go to the pen. With that in mind, the bullpen has started to work.
Here's Avila, a walk and a strikeout. Alex now 2 for 10 lifetime off Kennedy with 2 home runs. There's the curveball strike.
Matt Strom right now just standing there, but He was loosening, and he's probably going to be ready to go. There's a look at Tellin, the left-hander. Well, the great stories in baseball this year is one that we don't hear a whole lot about because it's in the other league. But a former White Sox pitcher, an elder statesman, if you will, Bartolo Colon, won his 14th game of the year, 14-7, with an ERA of 3.14, beating Minnesota 3-0. It's almost inconceivable that a guy can be a one-pitch pitcher at 43 and pitch the way he does.
Bartolo is one of my favorite White Sox pitchers. As he gets him on a breaking ball, 2 down, in all the years over 30 plus I've been here. And I'll tell you why, because he took the ball every time. And he knew when that bullpen was, he absolutely knew when that bullpen needed 7, 8, or 9 innings, and he would give it to him. Just the sweetest guy you ever want to be around.
Well, I do remember his days with the Cleveland Indians when he came up.
Oh boy!
I remember watching a game, and he completed the game with 150 pitches. And on the 150th pitch, the final pitch of the game, he was timed at 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's the kind of overwhelming stuff he had as a kid coming up.
Well, he's one of the few pitchers that we've seen in the last 30, 40 years that threw harder as the game went on.
Yeah. Absolutely astonishing, and he probably throws a greater proportion of fastballs these days than he did when he had the really big fastball.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sox tried like the devil to sign him. I mean, they tried really hard, offered him a lot of money, and all of a sudden the Angels come in at the very last moment, give him 1 more year on the contract and another $20 million or whatever it was dollars. So you couldn't blame him for taking it, you know.
Sounds a bit like the Torrey Hunter story.
Exactly. The Angels came in last day at a Taco Bell
with another year and a few more bucks.
That's
well,
right.
A lot more bucks.
As he gets Avi. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2.
By American Sale. He's been pretty good. 1 earned run, and that debatable 6 strikeouts, no walks, with just 3 hits. Unfortunately, he is battling in a tie game.
And there are a lot of people out there might be thinking, well, he and Quintana are getting used to it. I want to tell you something. Nobody gets used to that.
Nope.
Nobody gets
Sure
used
don't.
to it.
And they tell you that it evens out. Well, ask Jose Quintana. 4 years worth of this.
Bare hand, a nice throw. Takes him off the bag. There'll be a base hit. So that's what this little man can do. He can run.
His first attempt at a bunt, and it's a beauty. Frazier, the throw is well off the mark, and Jose Abreu has to come off the bag. And Billy Burns got himself a bunt hit.
16 for 20 in stolen bases. When I was writing down the lineups and I saw he was in there, I was thinking to myself, well, there's going to be 2 or 3 of maybe 4 bunt attempts off Chris Sale. Here's Merrifield. A strikeout and a fly out to center. That ball's hit into the gap. Nobody's going to get it. So that bunt single's going to turn into a 3-2 lead on the triple by Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield is one of the guys they've discovered this year, and you look at each and every one of his skills, and there's really not one that will jump out at you. You put them all together and you've got yourself a baseball player.
Well, that's the thing that impresses, I think, you and I both the most, is his presence, his acumen. He looks like he's got tremendous baseball acumen.
Well, he was schooled very well by his dad, and he's come up with some big hits against our ball club this year, and it all starts off with a perfectly placed bunt single.
Hosmer. Just tries to put a little Kansas City special on that breaking ball from Chris. Hosmer has grounded to short, and he's grounded back to Sale. Infield is in.
Hosmer has 4 sacrifice flies.
Only thing he's trying to do now is he goes into, he's one of the better situational hitters in this league. He adjusts very well in big situations.
Seems to me in situations like this, he looks for the ball away.
There's no question about it.
And if you throw it there, well, then you've got some problems.
No question about it. His approach, right, is, well, he look at the numbers he's got against Sale. 18 for 47. 3 home runs. That's the most anybody's ever hit off this. He's looking for the ball away, but also if you make a mistake with that breaking ball, which Chris has done to him quite a bit, he hurts him with that.
Well, Chris hasn't fanned him yet tonight, but he's looking for one here.
Yes, he is. The 1-2 pitch. Outfield straight up, spread out. Hosmer's tough man in these situations. Got him this time. 1 out.
Keeps this one low and away, out of the zone. Good hard slider, puts a little something extra on it, and gets Hosmer expanding that zone.
So here's Morales, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And it's 4-2.
There was a floating breaking ball that Chris got up, and unlike the first 2 times up where he struck him out swinging, Morales, a pretty big run producer, takes advantage of a mistake and drives it into left field. That's 80 driven in this year by Kendrys Morales.
That's a definite cookie right there.
He hasn't thrown many rollers tonight. There was one of them. And that probably is going to be it for Ian Kennedy, because Strom continues to throw in the bullpen.
There's a base hit by Perez, who had the first hit off Chris with one out last inning.
Hey, Sox fans, you win with Papa John's Pizza all season long. The day after the Sox win, you get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu priced items only at papajohns.com when you use promo code SOXWIN. That's at all participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Two on, one out, 1-0 the count. Two and nothing. I think it was Jake Peavy first time he faced Hosmer when Hosmer was a kid. After the game, I was talking with Jake. Hosmer got him for a base hit or two, I think, in that game. Jay looked at me and said, "Hawk, that kid's got the biggest plate coverage I've ever seen."
Well, he's got really long arms, and I mean he reaches out, but
all right, take your time, boys. Rack him up, but two more across the plate. We're into the seventh, trailing 4-2. Meyer for the latest prep football scores, highlights, and reaction from around the region on High School Lights, presented by Wintrust, starting at 11 on CSN and streaming live on csnchicago.com.
We got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. Matt Strahm. On for the 16th time. He's 2-1, ERA 1.06, 22 strikeouts in 17 innings. We've seen him twice. We saw him in his ballpark, where he was absolutely unhittable, striking out 5 in 2 innings, and we saw him in Chicago, where he actually looked hittable. Judging by those numbers, he's not hittable too often.
Well, when we talked about Kennedy earlier on in this game, there's a good example to me. But I think you hit it right on the head when you talked about something with his fastball that our guys and other hitters around in his career have just not been able to catch up to, and it's not that hard.
Nope. He's a 92, 93 guy, and yet because of where he throws it, he's able to paint on both sides of the plate, but he also moves it up and down really well.
That's the key, I think.
Yep.
That's one of the big keys. He knows how to pitch up. Yeah, I mean, to me, he just looks like he's very comfortable to hit at as you drag the bat back to the dugout.
Well, look, like so many pitchers, he got himself in trouble in the second inning. He got himself out of trouble in the first inning. So he gave up the run with 3 walks in the second, gave up the run after 2 base hits in the third. But after the double in the third, he only gave up 1 more hit. He got the lead, and Ned Yost took him out.
1 out.
Sox Fest 2017 returns January 27th through January 29th, bringing ballpark fun to the Hilton Chicago. You'll score an autograph or a photo with current players, coaches, and White Sox greats. Your favorite areas are back with an interactive space to play games, win prizes, and shop for team gear. Tickets will be on sale soon, so for information, visit whitesox.com/SoxFest.
Leary 0 for 2 with an RBI. Drove in our first run back in the second inning. Man, counting this being the 6th year, it's going to be our 6th consecutive losing season here at Kauffman Stadium. And if we can't come back in this game during that time, our record would be 39-70.
Yeah, pretty tough ballpark to win. Doesn't look like there'd be a great bias here, but for whatever reason.
Well, they're back in the 70s. They had George. That was the George Brett era. Hal McRae, Amos Otis. I mean, these guys, the 2 toughest ballparks in that time zone to win in the American and National League. This was the toughest ballpark to win in the American League, and Houston was the toughest ballpark to win in the National League with that pitching staff they had.
Well, I was going to say, Houston's pitchers, number one, in the Astrodome, you didn't see the ball all that well, and they had a number of guys through 100 miles an hour.
I know I faced most of them.
They were tough.
We faced I'm talking about. We used to play them a lot in spring training. Oh man! And then we started off a season one year, going there before the season, play 4 exhibition games there. 4.
Yeah, they had some guys who just were blinding.
So 2 down.
They're 2 up, 2 strikeouts, and apparently the Strahm we saw last time at this park is the same guy that's out there tonight, because he was absolutely unhittable. In Chicago, he didn't use his curveball near as much, and guys were able to catch up to the fastball.
Well, Robin was talking with the reporters yesterday or the day before. There's a bunt right back to him, so this is going to be in. Whoa. He took too much time.
Well, he was turned around, and he didn't realize how fast Eaton can run. So he wasn't in position to throw when he caught the ball, and that was really the key. And this is a mental mistake more than a physical mistake. It's not a good bunt, but Strom turns it into a good bunt because he doesn't know which way to turn. So he takes an extra step, and Adam able to beat it at first, although I think they'll probably want to take a look at it.
They are going to take a look at it. Now they say no. It's a good thing a lot of pitchers could throw a baseball, I'll tell you that.
Well, that was, I mean, that's just, like I say, it was a mental mistake. And because of that, Dave Island's going to come out and talk to his young left-hander and tell him, look, can't do anything about that. It happened. You made a mistake. Learn from it. Don't do it again and get in position to make the throw. And want to see what he can do to come back against Tyler Saladino.
But Robin was talking with the reporters, and he was talking about the imbalance of our offense. And he's right on the money. The imbalance of our offense. If you take the number of home runs that we hit, which is 147, and the amount of strikeouts we have, something's wrong with that formula.
If you're gonna make relatively little contact, you better hit the ball out of the ballpark to take advantage of the opportunities for the walks that you have.
So here's Saladino with 1 on 2 out. Takes that up high.
And now we'll see how a young left-hander can come back from a mistake of his own making, and a mistake that will keep the inning alive with Jose Abreu in the on-deck circle.
Bit of a gap out there in left center. And a lot of room between Merrifield and that left field line.
Kelvin Herrera starting to loosen up. It was the plan tonight was to get Strom through the 7th, Herrera in the 8th, but that might have been short-circuited by that mistake.
There's a base hit. Burns is going to get there to cut it off to hold Saladino to a single. So 2 out runners at the corners, and here comes Abreu.
3rd hit for Tyler. And I wouldn't think that Strom is going to be in there to pitch to Abreu. Stays down on it, does not pull off the ball. That's how he's able to drive it to right center field. Keep the inning alive for one of the baseball's hottest hitters. And normally, when you see a catcher walk that slowly,
that means the right-hander's coming in.
It means the manager has said, take your time, go out there. I need another 10 pitches for my man in the pen. And here comes Ned Yost.
He is Kansas City's longest tenured manager. All right, and we'll be back.
hard-throwing right-hander in a 4-2 game, but tying runs on base. Kelvin Herrera coming on. He's got a great changeup. On for the 67th time, 2-4, but the ERA 177 and 80 strikeouts in 66 innings. His changeup, one of the hardest changeups around. It's 88, 89 miles an hour, but when you factor in 98 to 100 on the fastball, it's very effective.
Well, that's one of the things that a little unusual again about this Kansas City bullpen for those 4 to 5 years there that made them the best, really, certainly in the American League and probably in all of baseball, was the fact that they had some little guys out there throwing 100.
Yeah, he's not 6 feet tall.
No, I mean,
and Holland was 5'10", and that was stretching it. And Collins was 5'7".
Yeah, and he was throwing 95, 96. They had some of the smallest, hardest throwing guys I've ever seen on one staff. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Come on, Jose, we need you. He is 2 for 10, now 2 for 11 against Herrera. 7th inning stretch, we trail it by 2. For 2 bad guys. Bottom of the 7th inning. We were leading 2-0, and they got 2 gift runs in the 5th and added 2 more in the 6th, if you're just joining us. And here's Chelsea Cuthbert. It's 1 for 2, a double and a run scored.
We'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Bernard Telephone, Iowa.
There's a strike. And that one at 95. First of 4 here in Kansas City. On your schedule, it looks like Monday is an off day, but that is a makeup game. And then we go to Philly for 2. Citizens Bank Ballpark. Off day, and then we are in Cleveland. So 9-game road trip. And here is Hunter Dozier.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. And it starts out a good play, but unfortunately, throw is high and wide of the bag, and the tying 2-run score on the same play. Ruled a base hit, E6.
Good breaking ball. The old backdoor trick. Got a break and the count 0-2. Pitching matchups tomorrow night. Miguel Gonzalez against southpaw Jason Vargas, who's making his 2016 debut. He gone.
Vargas has been around a long time.
Yes, he has.
Good changeup. He had a lot of arm problems.
Well, that changeup actually added some years to his career. On Sunday, it'll be Jose Quintana against Danny Duffy. A couple of good left-handers right there. And in that makeup game on Monday, Carlos Rodon against Giordano Ventura. Stallone grounded to short and going out deep to right.
Chris working awfully quickly, and he's kept it to a minimum of pitches. Pitch number 87 on the way. There you look at some problems in the fifth, but no walks.
That's back over Steve's head.
Fortunately, way above.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Tried to backdoor and missed.
Very good crowd here in Kansas City for traditionally what has been a well-attended game. It's ladies' night out tonight.
Well, they're averaging 31,872 as there's a chopper 2 hopper. Peg. Nice, easy 1-2-3 inning, and we're into the 8th, trailing 4-2.
U.S. Cellular Field is accessible from the 100, 300, and 500 levels. You can learn baseball from White Sox Training Academy coaches in the batting, pitching cages, and base running areas. You can check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. X1 by Xfinity, it'll change the way you experience TV. In a 2-run game, they decide to put Gerard Dyson in center field. They'll shift Burns to right, take Dozier out of the game. You always want to get your full-time infielders, as Dozier has been in his career, out of the outfield protecting a lead. So a whole lot of speed, especially in center and right.
Here's Melky. Melky, 1 for 3, a double. That was his 37th double of the season. And there's a shot. It's going to be caught.
I venture to say that Hunter Dozier doesn't make that play.
No.
But Billy Burns does on a sinking line drive, taking a sure base hit, or what looked like it, away from Melky.
Nice catch by Burns. It was very speedy.
Well, this is a rocket, and he's able to stay right with it and take it off the grass.
So here is Frazier. Todd is 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a sacrifice fly.
Good news for those teams that are playing the Baltimore Orioles. Zach Britton looks like he's becoming hittable. He gave up 2 hits in the 9th inning. Now, he didn't give up any runs because he never does. And Todd Frazier has to get out of the way, and he's a very unhappy man.
Well, Herrera has done. He's been a guy who's thrown to some of our guys up around the head area. And you know the thing about it is, we've been thrown at by these guys. Abreu has been hit several times, and none of their guys have gone down.
Not yet.
None of their guys have gone down. Last series first series we're in here, they drilled Abreu a couple times. That's where today's game and my time frame don't jive.
Nope.
They just don't jive.
Also a different world when pitchers actually did hit.
Well, they can get hit after the game if you wait on them when they come out of the clubhouse. They can get hit a couple of times. And then Herrera just walks in like he wants to even go a little further.
Yeah, I don't think that he wants much of.
Well, he knows he's got
Todd
that big
Frazier.
man behind the plate.
He's a very big man behind the plate.
That gives him a little more bravery. Two and 1 to count. Come on, Todd. Take him off that mound. You just cannot let guys intimidate you in this game. You cannot do it.
Well, I would have to assume that if Chris Sale is still in the game, some guys might not want to dig in too much this coming inning.
There's a bullet, that a boy. You got a cookie right there, and going to scratch out his 17th double.
Well, it's 2 hitters and 2 rockets here in the 8th inning off Herrera. Fortunate to get away with that first one off the bat of Melky, and this one a slider that doesn't do a lot, and Todd rips it down the line. Yes, Cuthbert winds up in scoring position.
So here's Avila, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. That pitch to Todd was close.
Could very well be that has, with that sudden burst of adrenaline that happens when a guy either throws at somebody or the ball goes at him, and it looks like there's going to be some further action in that inning. Sometimes pitchers have a hard time controlling that, and right now Herrera having a hard time making good pitches.
Here's that pitch if you missed it. That's right at his head.
Well, fortunately, he got out of the way of it the way you should, spinning back toward the catcher.
Three and 0. Don't help him out. Javi on deck.
I would assume if he doesn't get Alex, we're going to see a couple of different things. One, the pinch runner representing the tying run, and two, Dave Island going to the mound to talk to Herrera.
There's one.
That was a perfect pitch on the outside corner. Alex swung through it.
Yeah, on a 3-1, that's not exactly the pitch you want to be going after.
Well, you're geared up for a fastball. If you get it, you want to have a good, healthy cut. You just as soon not get one in a perfect spot.
That ball hit hard. He's not going to get that one. They're going to wave him around. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's a 4-3 ball game. That is the way, one way you can get a guy.
So Alex is going to leave after driving in his 10th run. So good at bat. Worked it to 3-0. Eventually got the fastball he wanted. And now it's a 1-run game. And J.B. Shuck comes on a pinch run.
Here's Ivy. 0 for 2 with a big walk coming back in the second inning. Good at bat.
Cleveland is going to beat Detroit again for the 12th time in 13 games.
That's amazing.
And Corey Kluber, it's now 11-4 going into the top of the ninth.
Just a decent lead by Shuck. Big series at Fenway. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 7-4.
Boston came in, and knowing that Baltimore had won their game, that stays a 2-run lead for a 2-game lead for Boston.
One and one to count. That's in the upper deck. So 1 and 2. That's way high. Four 7-0 for the Royals, 3-9-1 for us here in the top of the 8th inning. If you're just joining us, first of 4 and first of 9 on this road trip. He hung him one and he jammed himself. Long way to go. Can't get there. Good.
Burns was playing pretty deep in right field, and a long run for Cologne. He couldn't get there. Burns couldn't get anywhere near it despite having all that speed. And Avi got his pitch, a hanging breaking ball. Good effort by Cologne. He comes up short, and Burns nowhere near in the neighborhood of that one.
Well, we'll see what Perez wants to do after that hanger. Hard high or slow low. There was a changeup. Down. That wasn't the kind of slow I was thinking about.
No, I'm telling you,
he's having trouble with that breaking ball.
He hasn't been the same pitcher since the high tight fastball to Frazier.
And the count goes full.
There was yesterday's hero, Carlos Sanchez, waiting in the on-deck circle.
That was a nice series against Cleveland.
Boy, it was a great series.
Yeah. There he goes. And there's ball 4. Another good at bat for Avi.
Join us as the White Sox face the Tampa Bay Rays on Thursday, September 29th at 7:10. First 10,000 fans to enter U.S. Cellular Field will receive a White Sox Performance T-shirt. So for tickets, visit whitesox.com/Thursdays. Though Dave Island, who I had speculated would be out before the Garcia at bat, now comes out to talk with Herrera, who's made some pretty bad pitches. And is fortunate at this point to get away with it because the first one could have easily been a base hit that Melky hit.
Yeah, Burns doesn't make that terrific catch. Ty ball.
It's a wide open inning with a lot of chances to get some more.
Yeah. So here's Carlos. He's 0 for 3. He's due. 3 strikeouts. 2 on, 1 out, and he takes ball 1. No activity down in that Kansas City pen.
I would assume we talked about the fact that the 4-game series, they gave up 43 runs. They probably went through that pen liberally.
Well, he got a break there. That ball was high, and he called it a strike. He's had a good game behind the plate tonight, Tripp Gibson. Missed that one, though. And the count 2-1.
Outfield shifted toward left center field. Dyson way over, huge gap in right center.
3-1. Don't help him out. Carlos has had some fastballs that were a little up, but good pitches to hit, and just has not been able to put any wood on them tonight.
Yuri Garcia, who got a start in center field tonight and has a run batted in the on-deck circle.
Ball full base hit right. That is high down the right field line. Stretch. He's back at the wall. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A 3-run homer by Carlos Sanchez. And it's a brand new ball game.
Well, you got a struggling pitcher who made one pitch inside and completely fell apart after that. And Carlos Sanchez, for the first time, makes some contact. Our Ford home run replay, he gets a fastball in the inner portion. This one got up in the air and just kept on drifting. Burns thought he had it. He was back and then realized no chance for that one. First home run for Carlos Sanchez.
And first one since September 21st of last year. So here's Leury. 6'4". Sox. And that's the way you get back at it, guys.
Yep, a double, a single, a walk, and a home run.
But you hit it right on the head.
To me,
That giving up those 43 runs.
yeah, I think
Wore that bullpen out. That's all he's got.
that's it.
Now they're going to get somebody up. Six, 10-1 for us. 4-7-0 for them. Leury with that big RBI back in the second inning. Come back and knocks it down, picks it up, and throws him out, but not before. That's just two, but not before. I was going to say we pick up a 4 spot. We're still hitting.
It's pretty good. A big 8th inning.
So here is Adam. Had an infield single last inning. He's 1 for 4.
Herrera had not given up 4 runs in an inning this entire season until tonight.
Well, that good at bat by Frazier after that ball. He threw one right at his head.
Stayed in, got a slider that didn't break a whole lot, and drove it down the line.
Yeah, it had a little Carmine Derriere in it too. The line shot, but that 4 spot goes up on the board. We lead it 6-4. All right, our Chuck, thank you very much, buddy.
Chris Sales got himself a lead again.
I can't remember the last time he had a lead. We blew it for him with an error.
Came back and got it.
And we come back and get a lead again.
He's dealing with the top of the order.
Burns.
Omar Narvaez comes in as Avila was lifted for a pinch runner.
Burns bunted last inning to lead it off. Came around to score, and there's a chopper into center field for a base hit.
So after a bunt hit, Burns takes it up the middle. Tyler cannot get there. And the bullpen up and going. It looks like Nate Jones. Very distinctive throwing style has Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I faced a couple of guys that had that motion.
Long arm extension and then throw them behind their head.
Right.
A lot of deception.
Well, I'll tell you, I hated it.
Yep.
They didn't have any problems with me. Merrifield. Couple Burns in last inning. Gap in right center. High pop up. Tyler.
The most popular way to follow White Sox baseball is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. You can enjoy live look-ins, highlights, game day, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your favorite devices now.
We'll bring up Hosmer. Grounded to short. Bounced back to Chris and struck out. Gap in right center. Burns just a decent lead. Oakland trying to hang on. They lead Texas 6-5, top of the ninth out in Arlington. He wasn't looking for that one. That behind was flying.
No, Chris got him with a good hard slider in the 6th inning, which turned out to be a big play because Morales and Perez came up with base hits.
Two balls and a strike with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Close, didn't get it, and it's 3-1.
Very dangerous Kendrys Morales in the on-deck circle.
That's into left field. Melky is there. So 2 down. And And you're right, Stoney. This man is dangerous. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single.
He's a much better hitter from the right side. He came in hitting .306 as opposed to .237 as a left-hand hitter.
.27 homers, 80 knocked in. Takes it. Good pitch. Good pitcher's pitch for the strike.
Chris will hit 100 pitches with this next pitch to Morales.
Pops him up. Adam Eaton taking over, taking charge like he should, and that'll retire the side so he gets through the heart of the order, and he leads at 6-4.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, and it's the night of Carlos Sanchez. Well, that's the first strikeout, and that is the second strikeout, and then that's the third strikeout. And you would think it'd be a bad night, but not with a 3-run homer to take the lead. And for the second time in as many days, Carlos Sanchez stands to be the hero. That one just got up and continued on out of the ballpark as Peter Moylan comes in the game for the 44th time. He's 2-0, 366. Big comeback from a lot of arm injuries for Peter Moylan.
Well, that ball went a long way, especially on the night that the ball has not carried.
Yes, it did.
So here's Tyler. Tyler 3 for 4 tonight. He's got his average up to 287, but I don't think that surprises a lot of people.
No, he can hit. And because he's playing just about every day now, his stroke has really been good.
Marlin is an Aussie, Adelaide, Australia. Off the end of the bat on the breaking pitch. One out. Peter's no spring chicken. He's 37.
No, and he's really battled him. He's had lots of problems. And meanwhile, here he is. He's still here.
I love guys like that.
Yep.
I tell you.
He's been one of the real good stories.
Jose fights that one off. He's 2 for 4 with a run scored.
He was in the ball game last night, faced 5 hitters, and retired all of them.
Two down.
That's why he is so difficult to hit for right-handers. That sweeping slider just seems to keep on going farther and farther away. So now, with a couple-run lead and 3 outs to get, David Robertson loosening up and ready to go.
Here's Melky. He's 1 for 4 and was robbed of a base hit on a beautiful play by Billy Burns in right field. That ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Stretch. He's back. He looks up. And you can put it on the board. Yes. It's 7-4.
I think that makes him so tough on the right-handers, makes him vulnerable to the left-handers. That sidearm delivery, Melky with his 11th home run, his 2nd hit of the night, a Ford home run replay, and a huge insurance run.
Gotta believe it. So here's Todd, and of course with those home runs by Sanchez and Cabrera, Alex Snellius with another generous donation. White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursul.
You get some tired pensmen for these Royals.
Good movement right there. And the count 1-2. So Todd with a big at bat. Probably the biggest bat outside of the 3-run homer. As it started off with 1 out last inning after he was almost hitting the head on a fastball by Herrera. Just hit a rocket down the third base line for a double. Then the single by Avila. The walk to Garcia, who had another good at bat. Then the 3-run homer by Carlos. Ball hit hard. Sucked up by Colon. But the home run by Melky Cabrera will go to the bottom of the 9th, leading 7-4. Game 2 of this series, beginning at 5:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by the Koalas family of dealerships on CSN Chicago.
So Chris Sale going for the complete game. That's what he's done so far. He has yet to walk anybody. Pretty amazing. 6th consecutive start, working 8+ innings. Tim Anderson checks in at shortstop. And Perez to lead off the inning.
Salvador is 2 for 3 with a run scored. Short into center field, and here he comes. Yes, he makes the catch. A beautiful play by Leury.
He was way back there and had a long way to go before finally making the catch.
Look at the angle he gets. That was the key to that catch.
Well, if you dive straight away, you really risk what happened to Avi in right field. You risk extension and a shoulder injury. You got the good angle, and the guy who was a lifetime shortstop is pretty good as a utility player.
Here's Escobar. Yeah, if you get an angle like that, you have much less of a chance of when you hit the ground that ball popping out of the glove. But as Steve mentioned, you also have a lot less chance of getting an injury.
Well, the great speed, and it doesn't matter what position you play or whether you're hitting or fielding, speed, an irreplaceable asset in this game.
And with the pitching getting to be the way it is, speed is going to become more and more important. Been there, done that. At Alcides.
Well, he was trying to get out of the way, and then, I mean, there's nothing you can do. The ball's following you.
The ball's just chasing you down. Two and two.
Sox have 6 complete games. Chris Sale has 5 of them. Chesler Cuthbert in the on-deck circle.
They can hit his way on right here. Here's the payoff pitch. Nope. And that is the first walk of the ball game issued by Chris Sale. So here's Cuthbert. He is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored.
Cuthbert is a very good player, but the one thing he can't do is run very well. That's an inviting double play combination.
Well, that was the one thing about Moneyball that was just totally BS when they came out with it. No stolen bases, don't steal any bases, you know. Well, they forgot to factor in the fact that they also said that you don't have to be fast. Well, that means that you don't have as much range.
That's for sure.
You know, and then you go on, and what's going on in the game today is the fact that the more speed you have, the more balls are going to get caught, and the more bases you're going to steal. Because, as I said, hitting today is I tell you, it's tough. It's tougher probably than it's ever been. He gone, 2 down.
Well, the Cleveland Indians are a perfect combination of guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but a team with overall team speed because they lead the league in stolen bases. As Chris Sale heats him upstairs, and he's now 1 out away.
And when if Ancona gets the right situation and he puts his defense out there, they got plenty of speed.
Oh
too.
yeah, no, that's a good solid baseball team.
You better believe it is. That really a good team.
Looks like Paulo Orlando going to come off the bench.
Former Sox farmhand, who's done a terrific job for Kansas City.
Well, with the injuries that they've had, Orlando factored really big, being able to play in center field. Lorenzo Cain had a hamstring problem, was out. Now he has a wrist problem, and through it all, Orlando has played center and right, and he's done it very well.
There he goes. They're playing behind him.
Orlando 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Comes in hitting .294. Really been a nice year for him.
4 for 19 lifetime off Chris with a home run. 7-11-1 for us, 4-8-0 for them here in the first of this 4-game set. The first of this 9-game road trip if you're just getting home tuning in. We scored 4 in the 8th. Ball's behind him, 2-0. Good rip at that one. 2 balls and a strike. Count evens at 2.
Just tried to reach back and get as much as he could on an inside fastball, and that one just a touch too far inside.
Full count.
Christian Colon in the on-deck circle.
And the payoff pitch. Just got a piece of it.
Pitch number 117 on the way, and Chris is dearly hoping that it's the last pitch of the ball game.
He gone, and this ball game is over. So the Sox take a lead 2-0. They get tied at 2.